about the balancing of digestion. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the balancing of digestion. So this is the second in the series on digestion. And so in this part of the series, I want to talk about digestion, and I want to talk about digestion in terms of the factor of stopping digestion altogether. And one of the ways to stop digestion is to deal with the factor of fasting. Fasting is real key and crucial because of the factor that when you start talking about fasting, you really start talking about resetting your digestive system. Okay, and there are some people that can't fast, so there's a whole program I have for people who are unable to fast, like people who have diabetes. I tend not to allow them to fast because of the fact that whilst they're fasting, we don't want their blood sugar level to lower. But however, other people can fast. Even people who have cancer, there is a fasting protocol that I have that you can do because of the fact that now the body is evaluating itself, as well as the body is starting to, and this might not sound good, eat on itself to clean the waste out of the body. If you're overweight, if you're having arthritis, pain, things of that nature, if you're really going through a lot of different kinds of things, then fasting would be the way to recorrect your digestion. Once you start to eating again, then what would happen is that now you would begin to create that healing force. And that healing force that you're creating is that force that's going to allow you to increase nutritional absorption, and it's going to increase the cell's rejuvenation process. Let me get into it and let's go. So in the system that I've created for fasting, we talk about the fact of you determining the amount of days that you want to fast. And that's because of the factor that when you start fasting, you don't want to get to a point and say, oh, he said I need to do so many days. When you do 3 days of fasting, you start the process. This process starts then. 3 days of fasting. 1 day is not so much. And a whole lot of people are talking about intermittent fasting. Well, you intermittent fast when you sleep at night. Okay, so if you're going to intermittent fast, go to sleep. Okay, and when you wake up, the digestive tract has stopped. Okay, but the other way to fast is to reduce and eliminate the foods that you're eating. And when you eliminate those foods, what happens is that now the body doesn't have to break down anything and it can reset itself. And so when you do that, you should be taking in juices. And I tell people, don't do water fasts, because the water fast doesn't allow for something to buffer the toxins as they come out. And so because that happens in that manner, what now begins to happen is that now, you feeling sick and sluggish and all of that. And that's because of the fact that there's nothing to buffer that. If you're going to fast, use fruit juices and vegetable juices. With my program, you do herbs.